Hello everybody, my name is Anna Laghigna. I am a secondary teacher of English as a foreign language in Udine, northern Italy. My students are Italian-speaking teenagers of 14-19 years of age. My desire as a teacher is to plan activities that can be engaging and motivating for my students. I want them to be active and creative. I think that learning by doing and group work are the best ways to learn. I have been experimenting new ways of creative teaching and learning that focus on developing students' language skills through creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration among peers. What I can say from my experience is that group work has proved particularly efficient, especially in classes in which the level of language competence was initially pretty low. Working together has given a chance also to my weaker students to achieve better results, and as a whole, it has improved my students' motivation for language learning. In designing new activities, I always start from analyzing my students' points of weakness so I can focus on activities which aim at strengthening them. I then ask myself, how can the project I have in mind contribute to make them better independent learners? Does it help them to learn how to work together? I try to encourage students to discover and investigate contents independently. As a guide and a facilitator, I try not to give ready answers, but hints to their questions and encourage peer learning in groups. Inquiry-based learning and web quests were key in this project about theatres at the time of Shakespeare. The project was carried out with 2 different 12th year classes last January. My students loved this activity. I thought it could be a nice idea to introduce modern teenagers first to the fascinating atmosphere of the Elizabethan theatres before reading Shakespeare's work. With us embarked on a virtual tour of the reconstructed Globe Theatre in London, students got hooked by the story of the actors, the costumes, the props, the way the audience used to behave in theatres, and ended up longing to see a play by Shakespeare. The whole working process is shown here. Some videos to introduce the topic, guiding questions to answer while watching, and to develop students' independence and responsibility in their learning. Group work to collaborate and negotiate answers to the questions shared on a common Google Doc, up to the creation of a mutual précis and the final original presentations in class. What did I do as a teacher? Well, first of all, I made sure that team members were aware of what was expected of them. We did not create norms because these were senior students. I tried instead to give them voice and choice along the process, so they were given the freedom to decide about roles in their own group and how to develop the project. I monitored the progress constantly, providing guiding feedback both in class and online. I found out that giving feedback on Edmodo or through comments on Google Docs and TitanPad, etc., is more discreet and better received by students. They know when they are doing well and appreciate my efforts because they can see that I care about their progress. I would be very interested in learning more about other forms of discreet guidance. And finally, we produced a slideshow to celebrate their success. It was a sort of psychological reward and a moment of deep sharing. This project definitely helped my students to get to know each other better and build up team spirit. What challenges did I face in this project? One of the challenges that a teacher may face when shifting from a teacher-centered to learner-centered activities in class has to do with control. Students can get pretty loud while collaborating, or they may easily get off track. I found it helped to use a tool called Scrammy to plan our activities. Moreover, I asked my students to end any working session with a short report in the form of a checklist or mind map illustrating their work in progress. This helped to keep them on track. The biggest challenge in my experience of working with collaborative learning has to do with assessment. In our Italian education system, school authorities as well as parents demand individual summative assessment on a set number of written and oral tests. I have tried to integrate formative assessment in my planning and have involved my students in self-evaluation with the use of rubrics focused on collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving, negotiating, and other life skills. I have also introduced more and more peer reviews for mutual feedback. But all these activities usually come into play only at the end. I would like to learn from our experts as well as peers in the course about how to plan the assessment of collaboration and interpersonal skills. How can we teachers design activities to monitor teamwork, personal responsibility and leadership, aim-oriented discussion and task-based work, time management and organization? If some of the key words to collaboration are added value, respect for others and negotiations, how can these items be evaluated within a group and then lead to individual summative assessment? Thank you. Goodbye.